All right, everybody, welcome back to Scarborough Country. As promised, we are in the heat. I mean, this is the longest heat of a presidential election.
The election's not for another year.
It's ridiculous. And yet, at the same time, we are now, I feel like, does it feel like we're down the home stretch?
No, not.
Look, Trump's numbers are kind of going backwards a little bit, and Ben Carson is coming up, and Marco Rubio's coming up, and the woman's coming up, and all
woman.
Linda Fiorentino.
She was great in Vision Quest, and now she's running for office. So we actually have a pipeline to one of the candidates
on the other side.
On the other side of the aisle.
Who also is making waves himself. I mean, I feel like he's going to be leading the pack soon if he's not leading the pack right now. He has radical ideas.
Yes.
He has radical ideas about wealth, but he's got a very specific plan that I feel like only he understands. He's with us right now, and his name is Bernie Sanders. Saunders or Sanders?
Well, I'm on the record. That's always been Sanders. Where would you get Saunders
I
from?
don't know.
Nobody is named Saunders.
Okay, fine. Well,
Sanders.
John Saunders.
John Saunders is a sports guy.
Okay, look, you got some anecdotal, sure. Look, I may be in over my head here with the sports and this thing, you know.
Yeah. Are you a sports fan?
Let me make something very clear, Jason.
That's Randy, actually.
I played sports when I was younger.
What did you play?
Well, look, I did a lot of badminton. Highlight. Nowadays, maybe just a little racquetball. But I also ran track at the University of Chicago. Right up until the 68 election when I forswore all NCAA sports in protest of the Vietnam War.
Okay.
So you're a lifelong politician in a sense after your sports career.
But still we'll hit a racquetball around just to get the feeling of power of not
and the smell.
Lifelong politician has a connotation that sounds like I'm in there with the cigars.
No, he's not.
I'm on the losing side of every issue for the last 400 years.
Okay. Does that? But how can you win though that way? I don't understand. If you're on the
how do you expect to win? Is there a number?
Because the cycle turns. That's what's happening.
That's a great point.
Okay. Is there a way to quantify using numbers?
Don't get him into the numbers.
I just want to know.
Don't get him into the numbers.
Percentage-wise, how you think you're doing.
Randy, it sounds like It sounds like you're almost sort of baiting me with the numbers here.
No, we just want to know because you tend to
usually bring in good percentages.
Look, I'm happy to sit down with both of you. With Randy and Jason here.
That's the other way
around. Jason and Randy.
Look, I sat down with the Smothers Brothers back in the 60s.
I bet you did.
I'm sure you did.
Of all people, I bet you were the guy who did that.
When I look at any binary twin duo, there's a one and then the other, right? You know, Smother and Smother.
They're not twins, but yes, okay, fine.
Laverne and Shirley.
They're not related.
Jason and Randy.
It's the other way, Randy and Jason.
Look, when I sit down, I always think, well, look, it's almost like I am the third, you know?
Yeah.
Sure.
No,
it's almost like we've created a triangle here. So let's dump the numbers for a second. Let's get into something simple like Euclidean geometry. When we are talking about three branches of government, the executive, the legislative,
and the
judicial.
Yes,
sure. Well, for far too long, the power has been concentrated in a tyrannical executive branch of the government.
That's right.
And I think that the power belongs with the people. So if you look at the Pythagorean theorem of what I want to do, I want to take A squared plus B squared.
I don't know if that's
equals C squared, and I want to add a D squared, which stands for the people of the country, democracy. And I think that D squared should equal the total of the A squared, the B squared, the C squared.
Okay.
So
that's right. I am proposing to re-engineer what triangles are completely.
You want to change what a triangle is and add an
into a rhombus. He wants to add a corner.
I want to have the will of the people factored into the calculation of a triangle.
I can't argue with that.
As one of the people, I agree with what he's saying, but I don't know how he's going to do it.
How are you going to battle a guy like Trump who does not want the will of the people?
You want to talk Trump?
I would love to talk Trump.
Let me tell you. Look, let's make this very clear, Jason.
Okay, that's Randy.
Donald Trump is from Queens. I'm from Brooklyn.
Yeah. Is that all it is?
That's all it is. There's nothing in my life I want more than to have that battle with him across the borough.
BQE.
The BQE, we're calling it the G-train election.
Okay. Sure.
It's going to be long. It's going to be hot. It's going to stall from time to time.
It's going to be graffiti all over it.
Around the Smith 9 stop, you're going to have to get off and get on another train. It will break down in the middle of the East River. But I promise you, all of the American people will come out on the other side better off for it. Especially
in Flushing.
Yes. Nope. That's it. Nope. If you're coming on the Brooklyn side. The Brooklyn side.
He understands. No. I understand what you're saying.
All right. So now, do you feel like you could literally be the Democratic candidate? I mean, do you believe that this is happening?
We're already running ahead. We've surged 400% month on month in New Hampshire. Mm-hmm. We've surged 800% year on year in Iowa.
Okay.
The numbers are there. We're ahead. We are the front runner in 2 minor states.
Okay. What about the week on week?
Look, if you want to look at week-on-week numbers, we're up. Look, we're still up. We're up about 55% week-on-week in the New Hampshire-Manchester primary.
What about the day-on-day?
The Manchester Union leader.
Day-on-day?
Day-on-day, I don't have those numbers.
You don't have those numbers.
Look, I live for the day. I don't really calculate the day.
No, he doesn't. It's a week-to-week situation. He has to have a few days to calculate the previous week.
Okay.
We are running higher than Hillary Clinton against all the leading Republican candidates when they're pulled head-to-head.
Day-on-day?
Using inflation-adjusted dollars.
Okay.
Take a look at the numbers. Look, the only people. Look, get this. I want to make. Let's make this clear, Randy. There are more people in this country who agree with me but think that I can't be elected than there are who disagree with me and are trying to stop me from being elected.
I didn't follow that at all.
No. I totally understood.
The Pythagorean
theorem. No, I understood exactly what he said. There are more people who agree with him but don't think he's electable than there are people who disagree with him and are trying to stop him from getting elected.
Right. So there's nobody who disagrees with me. Right. We're not fighting against them. There's just a few corporations with about 10 people inside of them. Yeah. There's just a paper tiger. What we're really fighting against is people who don't believe it's possible. So what I want is a sort of E.T. Tinkerbell moment where everybody holds their hands and goes, Bernie, we can do it. Whatever you need. Blow the whistle.
Blow the whistle.
Blow the whistle. Look, clap for Tinkerbell. Clap for Bernie if it helps.
I mean, let's do it. Let's blow the whistle.
Bark for Bernie.
Get out there. Look, I ran track.
He ran track. He plays racquetball.
He plays racquetball occasionally.
Picture it this way. The baton has been passed. We've only got 400 meters left on the track, right? There's no hurdles. The hurdles are gone.
Do you have your racquetball gear? I'm talking about goggles, knee pads, a cup, and like everything in your 1984 Volvo at all times in the trunk? Brown 1984 Volvo.
We turned in the 84 Volvo, and we actually got a 77 Volvo.
You went back.
That's how much.
Martin Mull was selling his Volvo, so I bought it from him.
I imagine Martin Mull has a fleet of Volvos.
Yeah, he's like the Jay Leno of Volvos.
He's like, you want anything? I got any year you name. You name a Volvo, I got it.
He couldn't get rid of it, so I said, "Look, Martin, I appreciate your work in Marin. I'll go ahead and buy it."
He's working Marin. I'll buy it off you. And you bought it, was there sort of, did you amortize how much it had gone on? And I'm not telling you to do the numbers on the Volvo.
Well, look, it's for personal use. It's not for business use. I didn't write it off for business use. I don't do a Schedule C, but let me tell you, yes, we do. Look, there is some amortization. Not only do I do my taxes personally, but I also, just as a what if, I do everyone's taxes in the country just to see what they can do.
You're like TurboTax for the rest of your...
But just pro bono.
It's called BurboTax. I love it.
Yes, the answer is I do have more racquetball equipment than is allowable in any one game of racquetball.
That you would need.
Right, yes.
You're about 27 balls.
I have individual pads for every toe and finger. I have a head shield.
Have you ever seen anyone wear a head shield to play racquetball?
No.
Look, there's a full body suit. I'm not ashamed of it. Look,
no, you don't want to get hurt.
I believe that my body deserves to be protected the way that the working class deserves to be protected from the predation of the corporate powers who don't pay any income tax in this country.
Okay,
which is absurd.
Which is absurd.
It is completely.
He makes
so much sense
for not making any sense at all. He makes a ridiculous amount of sense.
I'm going to make one very important prediction here.
Let's wrap it up. Last prediction.
Look, I want to make I will yield the balance of my time back to the senator from Missouri.
All right.
Let me make something very clear here, Chase.
I'm ready.
I believe, and it is my belief, that the election is going to come down to a three-way race in June. Me, Hillary, and probably Joe. But,
wow.
Look, and it's going to be very close. And I believe that the California primary will decide the Democratic nomination.
Wow.
And I believe it'll be a three-way race, one-third versus one-third. So who are you with?
I'm with the one-third.
I'm with the one-third.
That's right, one-third for Bernie.
The one-third for Bernie.
And then we've got it. Then, once I'm faced up against Republicans, there's no way. I'm walking over him, whoever it is.
He's
Donald Trump, I'm shattering his glass jaw.
With With your
pure numbers.
With your pure numbers and a 1977 Volvo.
Just send that Volvo to D.C.
Send it to D.C. Look, you'll ride that around the Beltway and tell those guys what's up.
That's right. Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Saunders.
I'm going to park it in front of Pennsylvania Avenue, but I will move it on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
That's how much he cares.
He appreciates.
He's the kind of guy who I think if he were elected president, he would have to move his own car.
He would move his own car.
He would have to move his own car.
Park outside the White House. I love that about him. Bernie Saunders.
Thank you.
Bernie Sanders, thank you so much. It's good. Like, look, there's nothing better than being here. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Do you validate?
No, we don't. But can you move my car? Because my car is outside.
Sure. Look, if you come down there and talk to the parking guy in person, maybe,
See, he's all he cares about the guy. He always cares about the guy.
Power of the people.
Bernie Saunders.